Yo, yo, thanks for tuning in to the Maniacal Pod Talk. I'm your host, Brian, Murph in the streets. and today, we got the guest of all guests stepped into the building. And I guarantee you, if you don't know him, 10 of your friends do. So, Mike, man, listen, drop the dopest intro known to man right now for a brother, please. All right. So again, thanks for tuning in to the Maniacal Pod Talk. And you heard that intro. And I'm sure anybody that knows anything about Columbus and been around and tapped in for a little while, you know exactly where that intro comes from. We got my guy Dez Arnez in the building today. Dez, what's going on, man?
What's going on, my brother? I appreciate you for having me, man. You know,
Yeah,
you
man.
hit the tagline, man. I had pulled up yesterday, and somebody had hit me with that, like, "There's Arnez. If you don't know me, tell your friends do it." And the person they was with was looking like, "What
that
like,
mean?
You know what I mean? But it's so crazy, Murph, because like, this was a couple of years ago. My homegirl Tia, she had you know how like the Facebook memories be coming up.
Okay.
And I had like said that to her back in like the early 2000s. Like, I really been saying this for a long time, and I was just like, damn. And so she was like, "Dad, you really been saying this for a long time."
And it's
like,
stuck. It's one of my favorite AKAs.
I don't even know where I got that from, man. Like, I don't know. I was in my bag. I was probably during my I don't know. I don't forget who I was inspired by at that time, man.
Hey,
I've had a lot of people inspire me. Some people I can't mention these days. You know what I mean? They got.
Hey, either way, it's a good one. It's a good one. Every time I hear it, it make me laugh. So I'm sure we got some other people that they love that part about you too, man.
Yeah.
Just being able to kind of, it gives off a lot. It gives off a lot of personality. That's why I decided to use it, because you got a lot of AKAs.
Yeah, I do.
But I'm like, yo, this the one to use, right?
Yeah, it's the go-to, man. I think it's always a cool icebreaker when I do things like this, and I say that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, man. So look, you've been doing your thing for some decades, Dez.
Too damn long.
We know this, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's funny because you hit me like, yo, it's just time we do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as I think about, us pretty much growing up together, same environment, around the same people, I'm like, yo, it makes sense. I need to have Dez come onto the show so we can talk about some real things. And you've done a lot of interviews already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people they know who Dez Arnez is.
They think they know.
That's what I'm saying.
They know what I like to put out. You know what I mean?
So as I'm thinking about it, and I think about conversations we've had like over the phone, just different times, I'm like, they know Dez, but do they really know Valdez Scales? And so that's kind of the line I wanted to go down, that vein that I wanted to go down, man. Like we know who you are,
right.
But do we really know who you are? And I feel like at a certain level, when certain people of certain status, they reach a pinnacle like in their environment, and they don't really always get to be authentically who they feel they are on the inside too. A lot of times they always got to have that switch flipped on go. You know what I mean? And they don't get to really just chill out. And so as I looked at a lot of the interviews that I've seen you do, we know that, you come from a good home. And when I think about my earlier years of even starting to kind of be around you or your brothers. Reef, love Reef, man. That's probably the brother that I know the most.
Right,
out of all
and
of
that's
them.
what's so funny, Murph, because it's like that's the brother that most people know the least. You know what I mean? Reef, he marched to his own drum, and he's out there in Maryland now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of people don't, they know, of course, Pooh, and then, my oldest brother Antoine, but then like Sharif is always like the lost brother.
Yeah,
in the mix,
and it's crazy because that like the relationship is really because of my brother, and like I got some of my earliest memories of even like seeing your family for the first time. We was dropping my brother off at Joe's crib over Framingham, so I'm like, all right, he coming up. They got the basketball court out there. They about to have fun, but I'm still mad young, so I'm just in the car watching like, he about to go do his thing. So I feel like that's kind of where our relationship kind of starts back then, and then you get into middle school and things like that. And even I was thinking about middle school going into high school. I spent a lot of time around Mifflin, and we did a show. Me and Mike put together a show about pretty much what Mifflin meant to me, even though I didn't go there. Like my brother's influence there in like 98, 99, Mifflin was just crazy. And so I ended up going to Beechcroft once that open enrollment hit. And so sometimes I think about the relationships I might have had I had went to Mifflin.
Yeah, you should have been a puncher.
Yeah.
I don't hold that against you. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
It wasn't no question for me. You know what I mean? It's crazy because, Pooh the only one that didn't go. You feel me? But, all my brothers went to Mifflin.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So like, Edgewan kicked in the door. And then when Edgewan was leaving, Sharif was coming in.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? And then it was the same thing for me. When Sharif was leaving, I was
was
coming in.
in.
You know what I mean? So, like a lot of the administration, they already knew who I was because we was coming to the games and stuff like that.
Right.
And, when Sharif and them was hooping, they was good. You know what I mean?
Man.
They would, went to the Final Four that one year, then came back. Yeah, you know what I mean? They got the banner hanging up and all that stuff. So it was just like, oh, you a Scales? You know what I mean? And, I was a little different than them. So they was like, you sure you a Scales? Like,
you had your own thing going on. And I think about that too. And sometimes I wish maybe I did go to Mifflin because, with my brother being there and, being heavy on the football squad, like I would have kind of had that same thing. Oh, you Murph coming through. Because I used to go to their summer tour-a-days and all of that. Like I used to go and practice. I was in middle school just going, to hang on my brother or whatever. But so that those are the things that I think about. And I'm like, man, if I think about the relationship, if I think about me and Dez as a relationship, right? I'm like, if we had been in the same school, we probably have been closer, you know what I mean? But it's just one of them things where I feel like whether you go to high school or college, like that's when you really solidify like those deep relationships and friendships and things like that.
Absolutely. I mean, don't get it twisted, bro. We had a ball in middle school.
Oh yeah,
I was talking to Juan the other day, and we was talking about the soccer team, bro.
Oh man,
remember we had like our soccer team was so hood, but we was good.
We was hood.
We had nobody on the team that played real soccer.
Nobody played. I'm sitting there as the goalie. I'm just trying to stop these balls from coming through.
Yeah, we pause. But it was me and Juan was talking about that, man.
Yeah, middle school soccer, boy. Because it was co-ed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we had the girls out there running, the guys out there. We really was doing something.
Right, bro. And we was winning. We won a lot of games, bro. Like I think the only team, like, who was the team that we couldn't beat? I forget who it was.
I know. I used to always have issues with Monroe for some reason.
I think that's what it is, Monroe, because Monroe had real soccer players.
Yeah, and they had them triplets too, boy.
Yeah, I think that's what stopped us from like going further in the playoffs. Or something. Because remember, I think we lost one to him, and then we had a draw.
Probably, yeah, that sounded about right. Yeah, Monroe was always the.
And then track. Remember?
Yeah. Track too.
Our track team was hard.
Track team was dope.
Our track team was hard. Me, you, Ern, Chase Ragland.
That's true. Yeah. So we did have some good ties, man. We had some good ties. So like those are some of the things that y'all hearing me and Dez talking about that, we share together. Things that kind of bind us together and growing up. Dez is from Framingham.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I'm from, whether you want to call it Whining Hills or I'll call it Walnut Creek because it's all the same.
All the same.
And so we just kind of grew up, I don't want to say across the track from each other, but it was in close proximity. You know what I mean? And
go through the black path.
Yeah.
They don't know, you know what I mean? The black path.
They don't know what the black. It's a literal black path.
A black path
separating the neighborhoods. And boy, you had me going down memories there. All right, yeah. So y'all know we go way back. Essentially, that's what we getting at. You know what I mean? And so, all right, let's get into some of these topics I got on here. Right. Let's just get this out of the way. Let's talk about WWTB.
Okay.
Let's talk about WWTB. That's what we talking about. That's Dez's podcast. Started off with Dez, Reese, Trav, and my brother Blaze. What I want to say about WWTB is this. I feel like that's around the time we kind of really reconnected again, like when y'all started that off. And
you play, whether you know it or not, you definitely play a big part in like helping that grow for sure.
Listen, I appreciate that, man. And what I would say to that specifically is I had a thought process behind wanting to just help, because that's essentially what it was. Like when I started to listen to what y'all was putting out, the more I listened to it, the more I started to believe in it, because it was just making sense. And, you know, like y'all said, from a Midwest point of view, like the more I would listen to the show, the more I'm like, man, they really got something. And it's like, back then my mindset was, how can I help? And y'all, this is a message to the people. Like, we can do more than just like something. We could do more than just share something. Like when I was first tapping into what we talking about podcast, my mindset was like, yo, I like what they doing. What can I do to actually help that's beyond the scope of liking and sharing? Because that's what's really going to push people forward. You know what I mean? And so for me, that looked like trying to get involved in whatever capacity I felt like I was gifted in. And I want to say the first thing we did was like, I just helped with shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I say that to tell people, listen, like if there's something out there that you like, that somebody is doing, like help out in a real way.
In a real way. In a real way.
Shout out to Aaron the plumber.
That's my guy.
Yeah, figure out how to help out in a real way, man. Because, you know, it started off with just, you know, let me see if I can help y'all with shirts. And it could be on any capacity. So I'll explain kind of what our first deal looked like as far as me helping, right? So y'all were talking about doing merch during that time. Y'all just wanted to get some shirts out. You had me come to the show where it was, I want to say it was at an apartment complex you was living at the time, kind of like New Albany, Gahanna. Y'all did like a live show over there. And I came through and you was like, let's just talk to the guys and we'll see. And so really the first deal was just, look, y'all about to sell some shirts. I know how to get shirts made. I'll put up half for the shirts. Y'all put up half for the shirts. Just give me back what I put up for the shirts, and then y'all take what y'all put up, and whatever's left, y'all just do whatever y'all do. Like, to me, that's an example of helping in the real way.
Yeah.
It's not always about trying to get something out of it. You know what I mean? And y'all, if y'all believe in somebody and what they got going on, help out in the real way. Like, and I say it all the time. My brother Mike, that's sitting on the other side of these cameras right now. Like, we need people that's going to help in the real way. All right. So put your money where your mouth is. If it's something you believe in, somebody doing something you believe in, just do something more than just liking and sharing. Like, we can do more. Just whatever you feel like your gift is and you can contribute to somebody, you know, do that. So that was my brief rant about that, because I feel like people don't realize we can do a little more. It don't really cost you nothing to do a little more, right?
It make too much sense, Mark. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about this before we turned the mics on.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always that's kind of how I've lived my life over these years, and I think that's what's helped me be able to kick down certain doors and just get into certain spaces. Because I mean, one thing about me is I feel like I'ma always shine.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So I don't all I need is opportunity, and I'm gonna always shine, and I'm gonna always make a way for me. So I don't really be looking for it. But also too, when I go out and help people, or when I be trying to tap in with people, I do it with intention. Like it ain't me. Like, cause sometimes like that's the person's intention is like, oh, I'm just trying to get close to this person to like big up me, and I don't really move on that type of time. Like if I really rock with you, I'ma do it. And if I don't rock with you, like I'm not like I don't care about none of that, bro. Like I'm not kissing no ass. I'm not trying to like be cool with you because you got clout and a whole bunch of followers. Like, nah, I can't because I can't fake it.
Right. Nah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be written all over my face. So, it's just, I feel like if you move with intention and you have, and then when your opportunity presents itself, you got to perform. And I think that's the thing is like people always be like, ain't nobody put me on, ain't nobody put me on, ain't nobody help me, ain't nobody helping me. And then but it's like, okay, even if I was to put you in that position, like boom, all right, now you ain't gonna know what to do.
Now what?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, so you got to really get yourself in order, have your stuff ready. So then, when opportunity does present itself, you can seize the moment.
No, yeah, I agree with that 100%. So in the same line with what we talking about, what mark do you feel like y'all are leaving and have left on the city of Columbus?
I think we definitely influenced a lot of people to start podcasts. Even though, granted, I was doing the podcast game way before that. But I think like what we talking about, because we was gaining real traction and we was getting like real organic traction, and we was just thinking outside the box. We doing stuff at the toy barn. We don't, we finding these small intimate spaces and we creating vibes, but also too like we built a real community, man, and hopefully we can get that back. We kind of, I guess I would say we kind of lost it a little bit just because we had a transition. Trav left the show. He went on to do his own thing, and then we had kind of like a long just layoff there. And when you've built a community of being consistent, and then you just start being consistent, then it's like I'll be out in the streets, people like, when y'all coming back, and I really didn't know. You know what I mean? It was really looking. I didn't even think we was going to, start doing the show again. And then I kind of got to a point where I was just like, man, I don't want to do this no more because we ain't really moving how we once was moving, So now we getting back into the swing of things, and the YouTube world is a whole different beast. So we're really trying to learn that. But that's where it's going. It's like people want to see the visual, you know what I mean? And so that's true. That's been my biggest thing, is trying to seek out somebody that's like really fluent in that area to really help us like grow on that end of the business, is the video, like the audio experience, and then like getting back out here and doing live stuff. Yeah, because I think that's another thing too, is like COVID is when we really super kicked off, because we was still doing stuff during COVID. We was doing little events, and we was going into little spaces and finding that little window to like, all right, y'all open from these times, like let's get in there real quick and cook. You know what I mean? And we was still feeding the streets. So
yeah, no, that's good, because you answered the other two questions that I had on there. I'll ask one of them a little more direct, but you address like the kind of re-pivoting, I guess is what I'm gonna call it, with Trav kind of doing his own thing, and like, so you kind of explain how that transition has been.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's been tough, because we was used to the unit, you know what I'm saying?
Because it's a little different than if one of y'all had to miss, you know what I'm saying, versus now you got, this is what you got now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just like, and we just, when you just used to just having certain people, like even, recently, man, a couple of people put up to me in the streets like, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, man, I missed the bicker between you and Trav. You know what I mean? And like, but even with that, like, that was real. Like none of that was scripted. Like we never came in there like, all right, I'm gonna play the villain, you gonna play the good guy. Like, nah. We having real arguments. Yeah,
for sure. I heard all of them.
You know what I'm saying? But I think
it never felt crazy though. You know what I mean?
No, because it's like, me and Trav, we have a big brother, little brother like relationship. I've really known Trav. Trav. It's funny enough, Trav's relationship started with Sharif. You know what I'm saying? Like, know my brother Sharif, and then he got to know me or whatever. But Sharif was our introduction. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because of rest in peace, Guest.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like you
for
feel me?
sure,
You know what I
for
mean? Like,
sure.
and that's the that'd be the thing with, not to go on a tangent, but just I think with me in the city is like the degrees of separation with me just be so small because with me having 3 brothers,
Oh, yeah, for
multiple
sure.
different generations, and just with me being a person that just been outside for
Right.
the longest, you know what I
Right.
mean? I really built real relationships. So
Yeah. So one more question on what we talking about. What was your favorite live show? And now I've said this when I had travel in here, and I've told y'all that this same thing in different situations. Like I'm the type of guy I move around by myself a lot, but whenever there was a live show, it was the only
Magical.
place
Magical.
that I knew I could go by myself.
Magical.
And like really just be in my own little cut and just, I would see some people I knew, it was cool. Never no type of situation ever popped up. Like and I'm very particular about where I go and how long I'm gonna be there. I would be at y'all's joints from open to close. I would be at y'all's joints before y'all.
Right, because bro, it's like the vibe we created. We really created that space. Especially with with us being older. Like I think we helped fill that void that we always complain about. Like there's nothing for the in between, and with that we did that. And also too when we would do our live shows, we really made it a whole experience. So it's like. You're gonna get the podcast. We're gonna put DJs in there. So you're gonna get the music aspect. We're gonna try to put it in a setting where you can drink and eat. You know what I mean? We just try to cross all boxes, so it's something for everybody to do. And then when it's over, and you just see all these beautiful black people in one space, and then like you said, never no incident. We ain't never hired security for one event.
And that's crazy.
We ain't never had a potential fight. We ain't never had nothing happen at a what we talking about event.
And that's huge.
Man, and we done been in clubs, bar. We done been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, fellas, man, y'all really was doing yourself a disservice because the demographic was mostly women. And to this day, I'm always surprised that most of the people that listen to our show is women. And when we come and when you go to the live show, you see it. Like when people would come, they be like, what? People that never listen to the podcast, but they just come like, oh, okay, Desi doing something, we gonna go.
Yeah, go check it out.
Like, what?
And then they just not expecting what they
so I really want to get back to that because I feel like that's where I thrive the best. Like when I get in them settings, is when I really come alive, man.
Yeah.
So
no,
but to answer your question, my favorite live show might have been Burger M.
Really? Okay. I think Trav might have said that too.
That might have been my favorite show because I just feel like everything was just on point like that. The energy was just amazing there, bro.
Yeah, because that was a packed house.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one, bro. And the show was good. Like people really left. Like, yo, I enjoyed y'all. Like, some people was coming just because their friend came and they was just like, I'm not even hip to y'all, but so that was probably my favorite show.
Yeah, and people don't really understand the type of work it takes to put on a live show. Like it's.
I mean, what's name was lit too. I mean, Late Night Slice. I think
that was a production.
That was a production. Late Night Slice, I'm gonna be honest. I low key want to do late nights. I wish we could have did that over because I don't think us as a whole kind of understood the assignment with that one. You know what I mean?
There was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. We had a lot of moving pieces, and then kind of like putting shout out to Jock from Flow Vodka on it. You know what I mean? Like.
It was a lot.
Me personally, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have Jock on the stage because I was like, that's not what we do. And it was kind of like, you can kind of tell, kind of through. Yeah, you feel me? But other than that, but it was dope though because we really brought the city out.
Oh yeah, it was different.
And oh my God,
I feel like that was. I actually had my sister and one of my old best friends come to that one because I feel like that might have been the first time we had set up the merch table.
Yeah. That was it was a lot of but I mean, but Burger M that's probably my favorite. Like overall, I think overall in totality.
All right.
What about you?
For me personally, it's all personal, right? So the one that I like the most, I would have to say. Man, because what was it? Buns and Brews was cool because it was just, it was real small and intimate. Buns and Brews, y'all probably
Buns and Brews was nice though.
Buns and Brews was nice.
I feel like the intimate settings, I think they really rung off probably the best because I think we thrive better in smaller settings. Yeah. I think when the settings got bigger, we kind of like went away from what we usually do because
Mm-hmm.
we went too much into all the other things instead of
Yeah.
like focusing on
Yeah.
the production of the show. We would just worry too much about the old, the aesthetics of the
Everything going
production. So
on.
I think that's
Yeah.
the only reason why I really wasn't a fan of like the bigger shows. It was
Mm-hmm.
like the ambiance and stuff was nice, but I just feel like the show didn't hit. But I feel like Burger M, I feel like
Everything
everything
was
rung
on
off.
point. It
Yeah,
was probably the perfect size and
yeah,
just
yeah,
everything
yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Okay, nah, yeah. That's solid, man. I appreciate your perspective on that because like y'all really got a mark out here, and I'm sure y'all gonna figure out what the next stage looks like. The more y'all continue to push and put through the content. Shout out to Reese and Blaze.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Recent Blade. Shout out to my
Yeah,
guys, man.
y'all
We
keep doing what y'all
yeah,
do.
we still thriving, man. Those is my guys, man. We've really built a real brotherhood over the years
Hmm.
with this show, man. And it's so crazy because like everybody on the show, including Trav, like we all went through like real life events
Oh, for sure.
on that show, bro.
Yeah,
And was still getting up recording, bro.
yeah.
Through it
Because
all.
that's hard to do.
Listen. Listen. I ain't gonna speak for nobody. I'm gonna speak for me. I went through some real life shit. Breakups, heartbreak,
Yeah.
motherfucking engagement called off. Fuck it, we can talk about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
Man.
like that was like that was a real tough time in my
Yeah.
life, bro. I went through a lot of stuff.
And I
through
think
that, bro.
anybody that really listened intently could pick up when a person had to been dealing with something, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And it might not have been necessarily laid out because, you deal with it in your own time and it ain't really nobody's business. But anybody that was tapped into really knowing how y'all move and how y'all sound when everything is all right, like you could tell when something like,
Yeah,
hey, they
man.
still showing up, but something
Right.
going on.
And that's why it's just like the love amongst us is just different because like they really got to be in tune into a part of my life that a lot of people wasn't really privy to, and for them to just be there in whatever capacity, I mean, I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's solid. That's solid. All right, let's transition into a little bit of working business. Cuz you've done a lot of different things your
Yeah.
time here on earth.
yeah.
My first question, what made you pick up a mic?
Well, I mean, this is something that before podcasting became a real thing. I always wanted to be a radio personality. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So I was just always into that life, like as a little kid. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I would watch, Yo MTV Raps, Ed Lover, Dr. Dre. I would watch Rap City back when they had Joe Claire. You know what I'm saying? And just watching those different programs and stuff like that. And then later as life came on, and TV grew, and then you got TRL. You know what I mean? Carson Daly. Shout out to Carson Daly.
Yeah,
and,
man.
You know what I mean? 106 apart. I'm like. I want to do that, you know what I mean? But I really didn't know how to get into it.
Did Hits from the Street have any type of influence?
Absolutely, man. I mean, listen, I got I don't know. Well, we didn't have digital cameras back then. We had the Polaroids, but I'm pretty sure somebody, unless they tore them up by now. But I went to school one day, like how you be having when you have Spirit Week, so you be having bum day. Like, so one day I really went to school as Ghetto Man, bro.
Really?
I had leggings on. I had
Yo.
black leggings on. I had Tim boots. I had the whitey tighties over it. And I remember and then I had like a tight black shirt.
That is
And
hilarious.
we ain't really have the shiesties back then, but I would have put one of them on.
Yeah, you would have. That would have fit. It would have went right along
And
with.
so I remember I walked into the school because like at Mifflin, like before we go to, because we had block scheduling.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So before you go to class, like everybody just be like congregating like right there in the front, like right there where the big M is at.
Right.
And stuff. And so or by the ramps, so you gotta like see the whole student body. So I remember I came in, like, well, first I had shorts over it, so they didn't know. And then I remember I came in and I dropped the shorts. And I remember, shout out to Miss Hargrave. She was one of our administrators, like one of our sister principals. And I remember I did that, and the whole school just started laughing. And I remember she came out, she was like, "That is," and I was running, like literally running through the school from her, like, and then like had to run in the bathroom. And she was like, "You better not come out here with them drawers on, you better have some shorts on before you come out. Because she was like a mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's, not to go on a tangent, but I feel like that's what's lost today in like school.
Yeah.
Back you still respected like
Yeah.
authority and parents,
That's
but like
true.
she was like a mom. So, but yeah, Hits from the Street, I definitely wanted to be like Hits.
Yeah, because he was around, man. He was a funny dude, man.
Yeah.
So,
And he's from Ohio. He's
yeah, I
from
know,
Dayton. Yeah.
for sure. So during that time, when you're, kind of seeing what you want to see on TV, Hits from the Street being the influence, just the TRL, everything. Like, what about that do you feel like continued to shape like your life today and who you are?
Yeah, so as that time went on, and then so then when I went to school, I went to Central State for like a year and a half, and like I said, I think that was the like gift and the curse of my life, because like, if I could do it all over again, I wish I would have had like a real plan. Like I didn't have no
Okay.
real plan. I was just
There
like,
wasn't no blueprint for it either. though.
yeah, I was just like kind of just going through life. So like I said, I went to Central State for communications, of course, because they like, all right, well, if you want to do radio, then you know what I mean. So I'm doing that, and then I kind of seen the writing on the wall, like, man, I really ain't trying to be paying all this money back for a degree that necessarily ain't going to really do nothing. So
Man.
I left school on my own, and my mom was upset, and I was just like, Mom, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that's always been like the common theme of my life.
Yeah.
Like Trav always like attest that to me, like, Dez, you always figure it out. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
and honestly, when we think about how you were saying like the structure in like high school a minute ago, like that, the thing that's missing from high school, and then just the thought process of I'm gonna just figure it out. Like I got the same exact story with that, and I just went to an alumni day at Beechcroft Friday, and man, I walked through that school. It felt like the going out of business sale at Big Lots. Like the kids look like whatever. The girls got the bonnets on, like they got blankets on, and I'm like, yo, y'all really don't care about nothing.
Bro, you couldn't go to school like that.
Couldn't go to school at all. And so I think about
Forget what the parents would say, like, bro, you gonna get tore up.
Man, you gonna get roasted.
You gonna get tore up.
I don't think they doing none of that now,
You
because
gonna
they don't care
get
how
tore
they
up.
look right now, and it kind of hurt my feelings, because I'll come in, I feel like I got it on, but I'm like, I'm the only one
They
in
don't
this
care.
whole school that got something
They
on.
don't care. They wearing Crocs and pajama pants, and
And so
they don't wear clothes.
they
bro.
don't, bro. And so I think about that aspect, and what you said as far as like, you went to college for a little minute, and you like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like I did the same exact thing. I think I went to Columbus State for 2 or 3 classes, and then I just knew I was gonna figure it out. And that was kind of the message I wanted to tell those kids Friday, but they didn't care nothing what nobody had to say on that panel.
Bro.
But it was just
It'd be discouraging.
in order to have the mindset of I'm gonna figure it out, you got that X factor that's hard to come by. Because not only, and I'm just realizing this about myself, like, do I wish I would have went to college? Part of me has always been 50-50 about that. Like I feel like it could have been beneficial. The other part is like, I appreciate working hard and just grinding, and I like the success I see when I put something together. You know what I mean? But then like the more I think about it, I'm like, they say the statistics is like most guys don't really get to their bag to their 40s and 50s.
Yeah, because like I feel like that's when it just really kick in the
That's
overdrive. Like, all right.
Exactly. And so for me, I'm like, I have 4 years I probably could have spent really doing something. And I think about the direct correlation for me in that thought process in particular is, if I would have went to college and really like came out with any kind of degree, I wouldn't have had to been doing like 3 jobs in the side hustle that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
It could have, my main source of income could have been a little easier, versus just always having to figure out and get to it.
I mean, I definitely, what I say about that, Murphy, is like, I definitely feel like if you do have the chance to go to school, and you don't necessarily gotta go far, but I do recommend like going to like a campus where you gotta stay on the campus and stuff like that, because you can really foster some real friendships, some real, like, because like that's the thing. I wasn't at Central State long, but throughout my period there, like, there's people I still talk to this day from that. Like I still like, I was only there for like a year and some change, but everybody that went to school when I went to school, I still talk to some of these people from Chicago to Detroit. Like when they
That's
see
crazy
me,
to
like
think
they
about.
always be like, they be asking me. I can't tell you the last time I went to a Central State like homecoming, but they be like, "Dez, you coming?" Like, and I was gonna go like this past year. I might go this year, and I do want to kind of go just to see some of my like old classmates, even though I wasn't there long. But you know, it's just like that. You know, like when I do see these people out in the streets, they just be like, "Dez,"
it'd be happy to see you.
I did leave an impression. My short stay.
Oh yeah, you got to. All right, so getting back into, let's say, more so, you know, the work and business aspect of life and who you are and how it shaped you. I think about, you know, you spent time in retail. You spent time, you know, as a radio personality. You spent time, you know, doing your business thing, your entrepreneurial thing. Like, when it comes to life, as far as what you thought those things look like or where they would take you, like, do you have the same perception on like what it takes to start a business and run a business versus, you know, a job? Because and this is why I'm asking these kind of questions. When I feel like when people look at Dez Arnez, they putting him in a box
all day.
You know what I'm saying? And based off of the conversations that we have, sometimes we don't want to be in them boxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really take offense to it like I used to. I mean, a lot of that box is because of me, and it's on purpose because like, you know, I ain't really trying to let everybody really know who I am. So I mean, I'm gonna put out what I want to put out. So I understand it when people do it because like, you know. And lately I've been getting into it with people on social media because I'll be like, because it's like people be thinking like social media is my real life and it's not. Like I don't take it serious. You feel me? So you know me, Murph. Most of the time, if you look at my story, I'm gonna post some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
it'd be funny. But it'd be funny to me. It'd be funny though. Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying because it's like that's what I want. That is what I want to put out. Like I don't. I'm not trying to let you into my life. I'm not about to be writing diaries. I'm not about to be like...
Yeah, because honestly, the social media era is still kind of new and being built.
It like, changes. It changes every couple of years.
Every couple of years, man.
Couple so, years. And I just feel like people take themselves too serious on social media. Like, I think, like you said, social media be building this, you know, it's still building itself out, right? And I think where stuff really went left with social media is when we start seeing people become millionaires off the social media, then everybody want to like turn themselves into a business, right? Which essentially you are. Cool, no problem. But now, like, everybody be thinking they a brand and they just be like taking themselves. I mean, if that's how you want to roll out your social media, I'm not hating. Do that. You know what I'm saying? But I just be feeling like sometimes people be taking themselves too serious on social media
because they missing some of them steps too.
And I don't. So I just don't really care to like, you know, like do that because it's not my real life.
Yeah, no, and I understand that too, and because it's exactly what you said. Social media has turned into, I don't know, we said it kind of earlier, like it's cool to be a rapper now. It's cool to be an entrepreneur now. Now, you know, it's cool to turn yourself into a business. Like the way technology is working, it's allowing us to skip vital and pivotal steps that we need to take. And now we just skip into straight, oh, I'm a this, I'm a that. And like, it's a lot of emotions behind social media. And that's why you have a problem with posting what you want to post.
I be posting shit and motherfuckers be mad about. Like, I wasn't even thinking about you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You taking something personal that I posted, and you had nothing to do with it. Like, it was just, I seen it, I could relate to it, I thought it was funny, or even if I can't relate to it, or if I can, I can relate to that post, whether it has something to do with my personal life or somebody I know, or it's just, oh, I get that. Like, that's funny. You know what I mean? I just put it out there. Like, and truth be told, a lot of shit I be posting, that's what y'all be thinking, but y'all be scared to post it because y'all want to be looked at a certain way. Like, it took me a long time to get to this place in my life, Murph. Like, believe it or not, man, I used to be really big on like worrying about people's perception of me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I used to really be like super conscious and oh no, I don't want people looking. But it's like no matter what you do, people go and judge you. Like, bro, I cannot do nothing. if I don't post for 3 days, people gonna think something wrong.
Something wrong with you.
Oh, what's going on with Dez?
Yeah.
Is he
been quiet.
Yeah. It's like, you feel me? So it's like no matter what you do, they're gonna judge. So all I can say is do you and do it to the fullest, bro.
Yeah.
So when it's all said and done, ain't no regrets.
You right, man. So that's making me think about something. Like, people are gonna be in their thought process about you no matter what you do. And for me, a real life example of that is a lot of people know, and I've been putting this out there slowly. Like, so my divorce is 100% official now. You know what I'm saying? And people, they be like, do I say congratulations to me? I'm gonna just keep it real. You know what I mean? Congratulations to me. So yeah. So, you hear me, Mike?
Hey, Mike trying to hold it back. I was laughing back. I look back there, Mike. Mike was trying to hold his laugh.
For real. Hey, listen, congratulations to me, man. That's what I was saying about that, right?
Hey,
and so
yeah,
the reason why I say that,
it's been a minute for that,
man.
Like, I remember. Damn, I remember having real life conversations with you, like in the beginning, like before you even went, like when you was kind of like, this is where I kind of want to go with it, like I really don't want, you know what I mean? Like I remember you was contemplating this all, so it's like,
because it really. There's some processes to doing any major change, I feel like, in especially a man's life, right? So I literally had to work out my decision to file for a divorce. I'm the one who did it, whatever. But it took me like 2 years to even get my head wrapped around that. You know, and that's why I say what you said as far as, you know, coming to that place in your life where people going to judge you no matter what you do. Like, I realized it did, because I had the same thing. This is where I'm going with that. I'm like, yo, if I do this, I have business tied up into people that might care that I could lose business if they find out I'm about to do this thing. And I had to really get to the point where I'm like, yo, to me, it was a life and death situation, the amount of stress I had going on. And it just got to the point I'm like, yo, they gonna think what they want to think about you. They think something about you right now. So like, who is it really costing to really consider? And I tell you exactly what flipped it on me, because I was struggling with it for a long time. So there's an older guy who, you know, I got a commercial cleaning company, cleaning office buildings. And he was just kind of giving me his business. He was an older guy, like somebody I look up to highly, but he was getting to that retirement stage. And he just starts selling the buildings off. And in my head, I'm like, man, it would have been nice to hear about it first. You know what I mean? But I got a call one day like, oh, yeah, you don't have to go to that other one tomorrow. And I'm like, this really ain't personal. It's business. He made a decision for him that's what he wanted to do. I'm selling this building. I'm going to sell the rest of them. This is my life. And so when he did that, I didn't take it personal, but it helped me understand people really moving on what's best for them.
Absolutely. And that's why you got it. And bro,
they moving on what's best for them.
Friendships, relationships. I had to learn that the hard way in some situations, and I had to learn that the good way in certain situations. So, and I these last couple of years, I really had to like not just talk about that motto, really start living that motto. Because, you know, you can tweet about it, you can make a story post about it all day, but I really had to start moving on that type of time. And then once I started moving on that type of time, I started losing a lot. Like a lot of people now don't mess with me for whatever reason. And I'm okay. I can sleep good at night because I didn't do anything wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
peace.
I ain't did nothing wrong to nobody. Like, I ain't stole no money. I ain't did no bad business. I ain't did, you know what I mean? I'm just, you've been doing what's best for you this whole time.
Now I'm gonna do what's best for me, regardless of what any of y'all think. We moving with intention and integrity based off how we feel like moving now,
bro. So it's just like, you got to just do that, man, because like, you're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to like make sure everybody else has this good perception of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like, once you put out one fire, you got to put out another fire.
You ain't lying, and they gonna keep coming. Crazy. They gonna keep coming.
I was driving myself crazy with that, bro. Like, oh no, you think what? Oh, you hear something, so now you trying to go clear that up, and then like, bro, listen, think what you think, bro.
Well, so what does it mean to you to know that you actually had to work with that? Because I'll give you another real life example for me, and I feel like a lot of black men can probably relate to this. Like, we don't have no type of cultural system that tells us when we become a man. You know what I mean? So for me, you think about, the Jewish community, when they hit teenagers, they throwing the party, like they doing all of this stuff. I struggled a long time figuring out when did I actually become a man. Because we go from teenage years and they, respect your elders and talk to when you spoken to and all of this kind of stuff. We're told to act this way for a long time, but nobody ever comes along and be like, all right, Dez, you can sit at this table with these adults now and you can kind of start giving your opinion now. Like, I went through a long time of, you know what? I still feel like I'm young, but like me being 41, I had to really find my own voice and to feel like I belong at the table with the adults right now.
Yeah, I mean, see, Murph, I really feel like that's a difficult question because I feel like everybody's life is different.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So we all starting off at a different vantage point.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like from birth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you got to think some people are forced to grow up quicker than expected because of their circumstances at home. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely a fact.
They might be the only man in the house or the oldest or the you know what I mean, or the oldest. You know what I mean? So now you forced to take care of your siblings because your mom got to work 2-3 jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's just so many different things that goes on in people's lives, and I feel like people don't take that into consideration when you run it into people. Like, you don't know what a person's going through.
Absolutely.
So just because you turn a certain age, I don't feel like that solidifies it. I feel like life experience is going to shape you and mold you in different ways.
That's true. That's true.
And make you kind of, figure out certain points, because I feel like, all right, even the certain check boxes that people try to like put on you, like, you supposed to have this, you supposed to have that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, if you do that, then it's like, oh, you want a congratulations for that? You should be doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it don't matter, Murph, right? Like, it don't matter what you do. Somebody's going to be like, well, you should have
been doing it. Yeah.
Like,
you can't please nobody.
Like, what? All right.
You can't please
But then if I don't
nobody.
got this, it's like, what? You don't got this? So
that's
it's like,
true.
You got to just really carve your own lane, figure out what works for you, and just try to, like, create your own tribe within that, and worry about that, because no matter what you do, it's gonna always be white noise, bro.
Man, white noise is a perfect way to put that too.
You know what I mean?
It's gonna always be there.
And if you keep looking at social media and all these people that be trying to tell you what you should be doing, you would drive yourself crazy.
You ain't lying.
But then the funny part about it is, a lot of them people shit come out, and it's like, you ain't even living what you talking, bro.
You ain't.
You're pandering.
Bro, listen, it'd be funny too, because like you said, they people are never satisfied with what you got going on in your life for you. Like, I even say, with the experience of being married, first people see, well, when y'all getting married? And then you finally get married. Then, well, when y'all having a kid? Then you have a kid. When y'all gonna have another one? It's like, yo, I just had one, but then y'all need a dog, then y'all need a house. Then y'all need a big, like, people literally don't stop putting these expectations on you. So like you said, you have to literally figure out, like, what's in your sphere, what you happy with, what do you want, and you got to ignore the white noise, because they're going to constantly be pushing stuff, their narrative. And like you said, people push stuff that they don't even be living.
Yeah. Or it's like, all right, y'all trying to, like, tell me how I should be living my life, but are you going to help me?
Ain't nobody gonna be there to help.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Mike said,
you feel me? That's what I'm saying. It's just like, people be trying to push kids on me all the time. Like, you gonna help me raise the kid? Like, all right. Like,
they not about to come drop them Pampers off, no clothes off, like, no formula.
I don't want that in my life right now.
Yeah.
Like, I like being able to get up, and go do what the fuck I want to do.
And it'll happen when it's time to happen.
Yeah, facts.
When you feel like, life is aligning itself in such a way, then it is what it is.
Yeah, because and that's my biggest thing. I think I always tell this story, and I think people be thinking I'm capping, but I'm like, how am I capping when I'm really living it? I tell people all the time, like, bro, I don't want no baby mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, like, if I have a kid with somebody, like, we gotta be married.
Yeah.
It's just what, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm not about to do the co-parenting. I'm not about to go like that
tough.
shit. Like, because even people that do it, quote unquote, good, it's still tough.
It's tough. I tell you. So, I've told Mike this a couple of times too. It's like, nobody really signs up for that life. You know what I mean? You got people that move reckless. You just popping out kids. You got that. But then you got people that, like you said, like, I don't want to live that type of life.
Right.
And I say the same thing for myself. Like, I don't necessarily like it. I don't necessarily even agree with it. But the craziest thing for me is, even though I made the decision, there's parts of me that still don't like what comes with it. You know what I mean? Because I see my son literally every day. I pick him up from school. We spend our hours together. Like, his mom is the only one that's physically able to get him to school in the morning, so he stays there throughout the week. But like I said, I see him every day. But every single time, I still got to go drop him off. Like, that hurts.
You know what I'm saying? But then even with that, then it's like, as time go on, you know, let's say you do find another woman. Now you got to go through that. You know what I'm saying? So she get in a, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then it's like,
it's gonna be an interesting.
you know what I mean?
It's gonna be an interesting transition.
Like, listen to that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We went real quick with it. So and that ain't. I mean, there's so many other things we can talk about. Do I want to live through that?
Nah, don't nobody sign up to want to live through that. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen, man. And everybody need to stay in their lane, mind their business. You know what I mean? All right, Mike, I want you to go ahead and throw that picture up for me real quick, please. So we know who this kid is, right? So what did that kid in the picture want to be when he grew up?
I don't know what I wanted to be when I grew up in that picture. I think that might have been kindergarten for real.
That was a kindergarten.
And the funny thing about that picture is, like, that shirt that I had on, that was like one of my favorite shirts. I really had another shirt over top of that.
Really?
And my mom told me, don't take your shirt off when you go take your picture. And what did I do? I took my shirt off with that. And when my mom got them pictures back,
she was hot.
You know she was hot. But yeah, man, I just always was like a real
gonna do what you want to do.
No. I was just like, I don't know, man. Like I get, like the meme said, man. I was a real, like, sometimes I like to fuck around and find out. Like, even as a kid, bro. Like, I don't know, like that. It was just always was something about that.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I think I still live to this motto to this day. Sometimes.
Hey, yeah, it's evident, because I mean, it's important, because sometimes you gotta push the envelope.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you gotta press the button. Yeah.
So we talked about this a little bit earlier too. Like, I want to talk about relationships for a tad bit. We know relationships are a hot topic. We see what's going on with tonight's conversations. Like, relationship conversations are just, they are what they are, and people capitalize on them for whatever reason.
Man, I feel like it's an easy.
It is. It's an easy thing, man. But so the direction I want to go down with the relationship scenario is, how do you view, like, your actual relationships, whether it was from the past, and I'm talking about, girlfriend type relationships. What's the difference on how you view them from the past versus how you view them for today?
When you say view them, what you mean? Like,
as far as putting it out there into the public eye. Like, what's your experience with that?
Well, I had a past relationship that, if you follow me for quite some time, or what, like, it was a real public relationship, and I feel like the curse with that is, once again with the social media, like, everybody just thought they knew our relationship,
everything that's going on.
A lot of people was just, really invested into us for some reason, and it wasn't really like it got to a point where I just hated it, because it was just like if I'm dealing with it at this, like, small magnitude, I can only imagine what celebrities go through. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, I just felt like
just here in Columbus,
everywhere I went, no matter what I did, it was always eyes on me. It was all, what I mean? I couldn't just, we really just couldn't live, and we went through, like, some real life shit. You know what I'm saying? And I never really talk about it much, but we on this podcast and we having real talk, and I'm gonna give you and exclusive. I'm gonna protect the innocent. I'm not gonna say her name, but
for sure.
People know who it is. But I want to shout out to her because a couple years back, for a long time, man, like I said, that relationship was like, it was real. It was really my life, man. We was together for 8 years. You know what I mean? And we went through some real, like, we really grew up with each other. You know what I'm saying? For real. And, we went through some ups and downs in that, and, we was engaged and we was about to get married. And, we call our wedding off 30 days before the marriage. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to get over that because, like, after that happened, once again, everybody was in our stuff. So I just felt like I couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
And anytime I went places, the first thing people would say to me is, "Dez, what you do?"
It's always
you
your
feel
fault.
me? That's the first thing, especially women. Dez, what did you do? You know what I mean?
It's always
and I was
the
just,
guy.
I was like, bro, it was just like, bro, there was a point in time where I didn't come outside, bro.
Cause who want to deal with that?
Staying in the house and then like, you know what I mean? Like, my mom was sick about it, you know what I mean? And then like, shout out to my sister, she gave me some real life game. And then even my oldest brother, who really ain't like an emotional dude, like just like a lot of people that like live real life. I'm thankful because I have a lot of people in my inner circle, especially like my older homies. I have real big homies,
Right.
and they're married, and they, and they was able to give me like real life game in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was just like, bro, like you gotta hold your head high, bro. You can't be high. But I say all that to say, like, a couple years ago, me and her, we finally like sat down and had like a real conversation.
Oh, for real?
About everything, bro.
Wow.
And like really just laid it all out on the table, man. And everybody talk about this healing, right? And I feel like that was like the final mission to like my healing.
Okay.
You feel me? Like we got to really, really lay it out on the table. I really got to express my thoughts. She really got to express her thoughts. And like I feel like now our relationship is better than ever because of that. Because for a long time I wasn't fucking with her. Like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like for real, like I ain't going front. Like I had a lot of resentment behind that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think I think that was needed. I really need to like. That part was the part for me to finally close the chapter to.
Okay. Which is a lot of people don't get no type of closure on anything that's bothering
right. And you hear different things about like, oh, I ain't giving nobody closure. But I feel like that's easy to say when you're not in a real relationship with somebody. But when you're in a real relationship with somebody like that, and y'all been together that long,
especially making plans and all of that kind of stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like when you have a real life change, bro, it's important. So I think once I finally let that go, I was able to really like grow.
Okay.
You feel me?
And that's important too. Like people do have the mindset, like people, whatever side you're on of a breakup, right? It always seems to have an attitude on one of those sides that's like, I want that person to continue to struggle. I don't want that person to have closure. I want that person to always miss me and think about, whatever the case may be. And like we too grown for that. Like you need it. It's huge that y'all was able to have that conversation and I appreciate you for putting it out there because nobody does that type of work. We see that type of stuff online. People say it.
But the crazy part about it though is like I really gotta shout out to her because she was the one to initiate it.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Because
that says a lot about her.
Yeah, because even throughout that, you like once we like really, really officially, because you know how you be having to break up, you get back together, you know what I mean? But once we like really officially like broke up, and throughout time, like she never liked the fact that I didn't like her no more. Like and not in like that type of sense. But
I know what you
like,
mean.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she like, we went through too much stuff. like I don't want us to
be cordial on some type of level.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was never like disrespectful, but like she just like, I don't want us beefing.
Right.
I don't want us be, things didn't happen the way we wanted to happen. Like, she like, shit, I went through, like, I was in the relationship too. So everything wasn't peaches and cream for me either.
Right.
And so it's just like, she initiated it. And for us to really do that, like, I thanked her for doing that because it was something that I needed to do. But I ain't gonna hold you. Like, my pride and ego be high, so I was just standing on some like, man, fuck it, it is what it is type. You know what I mean? Because the reason why I was like that is because when I wanted to do it, she didn't want to do it. You feel what I'm saying? So then it's like, all right, well, fuck you then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like, but for her to do that and just knowing the person that she is, for her to even do that, I know it took a lot for her.
A lot, to get out
so,
there.
And I knew that was just real, like, okay.
Yeah, especially if she see kind of how you was being, towards it. You're like, oh, wait, whatever then.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and that's dope that y'all. I'm sure she probably got the closure too. And the reason that I even wanted to kind of question that is because, like we were saying during the podcast that you got now, what we talking about, y'all all been through some real life scenarios. And again, like if people were listening to y'all at different stages of y'all's life, you can pick up those things.
Yeah.
And so I could pick up that you was kind of going through some of that stuff in some of those episodes, right?
Yeah.
But along that same time, I can see that you started to make like real life changes and pivoting to make yourself better. So is there anything that came from that breakup and that separation and that healing process that kind of propelled you and pushed you into whether it be entrepreneurship, maybe finding a different type of job, a different lane? Like what's the blessing out of that situation that pushed you to kind of like where you going today in life?
I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like that situation was like the best worst thing that ever happened to me. Because like once that happened to me, that it was like, it was my future moment. Everybody say like heartbreak future is the best. Like that was my future moment for real. It was just like that's when I went into beast mode. Like, all right.
And you can see that from the outside looking in. You can kind of see
I just
that.
felt like after that, man, like it was just so crazy because like after all that happened, I just seen so many people just change on me and flip on me and just kick me down and was just talking bad about me. And it's just like, damn, like y'all doing me like that. And I was just like,
not even having no information.
Man, and it was just like, so it really made me just get in my bag. Like, all right, like I'm gonna show you. But I don't like to move on that type of time because like, it be good and it be bad. Like I don't really like to move on like, all right, I'm gonna show you, but I can't help it. I definitely got it in me. I definitely got it in me
because it's a motivating factor. I definitely got it in me.
When I feel like you trying to swag on me, when I feel like you trying to,
we gonna see.
I can show you better than I can tell you for sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it really just made me get in my bag, man, because it was there was points and times in that relationship where it was just like, damn, like that's how you see me? Okay. And I was just like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And it just really made me get in my bag. And I feel like ever since then, it's like I really ain't never looked back.
Right.
And
so
I just ain't going no more. Like, you feel me? Like, cause I think that was the biggest problem too in my relationship. You know what I mean? And just relationships in the past. Like, I be letting a lot of shit slide, like, and I don't really be speaking my mind a lot. And it's just like, you feel me? You let your partner get their shit off, but then you don't be getting your shit off.
Yeah, and
when
you be
do
stuck
get your
with
shit
it.
off, then they use it against you, saying, "Well, you just saying that because I said this." You feel me?
Yeah.
So I had to learn to be like, you know what, bro? You got to nip that shit in the bud early because if you don't, they gonna run over you.
Yeah, so for me, the way I move in relationships, whether boyfriend girlfriend type relationships, this is kind of the attitude that I took up from being divorced and like moving towards the divorce situation. Like, I'm gonna say how I feel. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's hard because we don't really want to hurt nobody's feelings. You know what I mean? But then when you don't say how you feel, you end up sleeping with that at night, and that stress come in on you every night. And so, like, my motto is,
I'm gonna keep waking up
all night, right? And so
I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about something that would say that to you, like
looking crazy. And so, like, what I tell people that ask me, kind of how I dealt with the things I've had to do, I'm like, look, like, I'm going to tell her exactly how I feel, even if I got to say it over and over and over and over again, because once I express myself 10 times on this point, after that 10th time, I'm probably going to start moving a little different. And I don't want you to be under no confusion on why I'm moving the way that I'm moving right now. And that comes with us kind of being honest with ourselves too. And it takes a lot to look within to even speak up. And I feel like it's funny because I feel like the general thing is women, they're maybe a little more advanced in their thought process and how they express stuff and say stuff. And I know me personally, I can be a little slow with picking up the conversation. Like if you ask me a hard conversation in a relationship setting, I'm probably need to think about it for a little bit. And I'm gonna probably come up with some stuff 20 minutes up after the fact, but like I'm a slow thinker when it comes to having a confrontation. I'm not scared of confrontation, but I'm not just ready to jump into it ASAP either. And so it's just like, I feel like if we owe it to ourselves to tell people how we feel and just leave it at that, because we got to release it off of us.
Word.
And too many times we don't, and then you be stuck with it, and then the blood pressure start going.
Yeah, bro. That stuff don't do it don't do you no good, man.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, man, like that, it was definitely like a pivotal moment in that relationship that helped like really like get me to where I'm at now and really like just, like you gotta lock in, you gotta focus because ain't nobody coming to save you, bro.
Right, and that also showed you to keep your relationship
even
private.
the person you think you about to do life with, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like, and I think the gift and the curse of that is, I guess you could kind of say like I still kind of, I don't necessarily want to say I have trauma behind it, but it's just like with that, it's like it be kind of hard for me to like let my guard down at times because it's just like, bro, when I did that, it bit me in the ass. You know
it's hard because that's a real thing.
Yeah, so now it's like, you feel me? I just really be hyper focused on just like, all right, even if shit do go left, I'm still gonna be able to like, I still got me.
Right.
You feel me? Because
it was that's what's most important.
Because in a relationship, it was just like I was forced to just start all the way over. You know what I'm saying? Because we had so much stuff together, then it was just like, now it's over. Now it's just like, all right, then I was just left pretty much stuck like, all right, nigga, you gotta go figure it out.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that be like my thing. Like I know I sent you an old podcast that I did, and I caught a lot of flack behind that podcast that I did in like 2018. And I was just saying how like, I feel like parts of the happy wife, happy life shit is bullshit because it's just like, it's like for men, you gotta come in like you already gotta have you. You already gotta have you. You gotta have yourself together, and it's on you to get yourself together, but it's also on you to make sure everything around you is cool and together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I know when people hear this, it's like, oh. You know what I mean? Like I'm probably gonna get killed again behind it. But listen. I do understand it to an extent, but I do feel like some people. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna put it on all, but I feel like sometimes some women use that.
It's an abuse.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. And thank you. And that's a key word. And I preach this a lot to people. As men, we go through a lot of emotional abuse, but we don't never talk about it, bro. It's never brought up. You don't never see no hot topics on podcasts about this. We do.
Emotional abuse within the relationship
We
setting.
do, bro. And so I was just really speaking on it from a point of view that I seen things on. I'm not saying that applies to all people. And, somebody might hear this and be like, that's bullshit. But I feel like there's a lot of men deep down inside that secretly like preach.
No, and that's a fact because that happy wife, happy life mindset really sets the guy up for, I'm gonna just say nothing. Like you're not gonna get anything out of this. It's all about that. And I tell you this, I feel like that mindset was possibly one of the things that led to the demise of my marriage, because it was, no matter what I said, no matter how I said it, I was never taken serious. You know what I'm saying? And so to live under that happy wife, happy life mindset.
So it's like, my fault to cut you off. But basically like, all right, when you're not happy, it's just kind of like, all right, well, you got to figure, like, I don't know what to do for you, so
it
figure
ain't
it out.
me.
But it's like, but then when she ain't happy, it was like, it was on you.
You got to figure that out too.
It was on you to make her happy and keep yourself happy. And that's just all I really be trying to convey with that. Is just like, us as men, who do we go to? Especially when there's a fork in the road right now with your current partner. When you having a fork in the road with your partner, all right, and then they say, well, that's the thing, men don't have no. But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of times that men we be needing that support system, or sometimes it's like, fuck the outside. I need that support from you. You feel me? And you ignoring me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're not understanding. Yeah. You want me to go seek it from somewhere else. Yeah. And you really don't want me to do that because that might come to bite you in the ass if I go seek it from somewhere else.
You're gonna be mad. Now we got a whole nother situation.
So that's
the problem is you're not taking me serious on what I'm saying right now. You think and it.
Because when you're going through stuff as a man, you try your hardest not to make your partner feel nothing that you feel.
Nothing that you feel.
You feel me?
You gonna figure it out.
But then when they feeling something, you gotta feel it.
You gotta feel everything.
And it's just like, come on, bro. We're like, we gotta meet in the middle somewhere, bro. Because even when I'm fucked up, I'm gonna do everything in my power for you not
to make sure
you might not even know.
Yeah, make sure you good.
Right now, it might not even be in our best interest to even really do this trip. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway.
Because I know this is what
and I'm
going
to take the pain and I'm going to figure it out to keep you fucking happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, all right, now it's your turn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I need the emotional support. Like, pick me up right now. And it's just like, sorry, babe.
I mean,
figure it out.
But it lends itself to what we view as the 50-50 topic, right? Because okay, it appears that women don't want to go 50-50 on material things, bills and things like that, right?
And respect, like,
okay,
right. That's how you feel, cool. Like,
right.
I'm not here to judge on that.
But where is the mentality when it comes to my emotional stability? Can we go 50-50 on that? Because I got to go 100% on you. But when I'm dealing with something, I don't really feel like I can count on you to look out for me as much as I'm looking out for you. And that's where the stress come in.
And that's where shit gets tricky.
That's where you start picking up weight.
Because in life, like, listen, bro, things happen. And you know what? I think right now we're seeing it more than ever with the current climate of the political situation. I really don't want to get into that, but I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of people are really starting to get whipped into shape. And what I say by that is, like, we seeing what it is out here, bro. It's hard out here, bro. Man. It's super hard. And I feel like a lot of those unrealistic
they shedding.
I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but like a lot of the unrealistic ideas that people feel like how a relationship goes and what you should do as a man, like, we starting to see is like,
they don't hold up to real life.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Now it's looking real sexy to go 50-50, bro. It's looking real sexy to go 50-50 now, ain't it?
I mean, because to not go 50-50, what really do you want? Like, do you really want a partner?
It's hard out here, bro.
You really want to be taken care of. Bro. Like, to not want it. Whoo.
It's hard, bro.
We get somewhere crazy.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm just saying, look. Some people are blessed where they may not be experiencing that right now. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of America is starting to see what's going on.
If you can't see the need for 50-50 today, like, you lost.
So shout out to all the people out there that are having thriving relationships right now. They got real partners in their corners, bruh. You feel me? Like, for real, like, you winning right now. You winning right now, man. So And I'm not here, and once again, like, I don't want nobody to get this misconstrued. Like, I'm not a woman bash or nothing.
Oh, no, none of that's going on.
But I'm just sharing things from my lens and how I be seeing things and how, this real life stuff that I went through. But
and for me, when it comes to the whole relationship thing, right? When I think about what I want from a partner, right? Like, I just want somebody that's going to want to take care of me as much as I want to take care of them. And that's really the bottom line, even when you think about a 50-50 scenario.
That's it.
Like, what we're saying is we want somebody that's going to take care of us the same way that we going to take, because we're going to do everything we got to do.
Remove the number, bro.
Remove the number.
Because it's like, bro, in this real life, in this real game of life, you feel me? It's ups and downs with this, bro. And everybody that I talk to that have been married for long periods of times, they gonna tell you there's gonna be times when you up, there's gonna be times when you down, bro. And then there's gonna be times in a relationship where it might be 70-30.
Yeah.
60-40.
Yeah, you never know.
The number might go.
It's gonna fluctuate.
Yeah, like you feel me? But that's the thing is like, when people be taking these vows, I think and that's another thing too. People be playing with marriage, bro.
Yeah.
People don't want to get married to be married. People want the wedding.
They want it.
People want the wedding, bro. They don't really want to be married. They don't really want to do. They don't really want to do this. Like they don't want to do this life shit for real. They want the wedding. They want the IG post. They want the viral moment. And then the moment they get a little discomfort. This ain't gonna work. You feel me?
I feel you 100% because I had to, in the midst of me going through my situation, I've had a lot of these talks internally with myself, right? And, you know, some of those talks that I had with myself was coming to the realization was this person probably just really wanted to be a mom. You know what I mean? This person might not have really
sounded good, but they didn't. But they only seen. But also too, a lot of people be basing they life off of celebrities' lives and shit like that. So they seeing the glitz and the glamour, but they don't understand the tough part that comes with it. You know, and I think I just view stuff a lot different because I just come from, like, once again, my parents been married together. They've been with each other over 50 years. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, my oldest brother, they've been together over 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, I just have real examples in the household. Right. And I seen when shit was lit and I seen when shit was damn. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? But I seen there was times when my mom was up and my dad was down. There was times when my dad was up and my mom was down. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they kept that shit together. You feel what I'm saying?
But those are real people though. And is this, let me ask you, is 50-50 really coming from social media?
Social media, that's some social media.
Because for you to give an example of a real life mom and dad, 50 years, you've seen the highs and you've seen the lows. Right. You can't possibly be in a real life scenario like that, see the highs and see the lows, but then say there's no way I would ever go 50-50 with somebody.
Yeah, bro, it's
so where is it coming from?
It's foolish talk.
It's foolish talk for sure, man. Talk.
That's what I'm saying. And like I said, look, and when I be saying that, I'm not saying that you gotta. I'll always make sure our preference is. When I say you got to be able to stick together through the highs and lows, I'm not saying you got to stick around for infidelity or like, right. You know,
some abuse.
Yeah. I'm not saying that, but like, you know, bro, people lose their jobs. People get demoted. People, you know what I mean? Things just happen. Like, wrenches come into your life, and that's when you really gonna get. At the end of the day, your relationship is really going to get tested in some shape, form, or fashion. That's what's going to show you who's really there for you and who ain't. And I feel like that's the problem. Is once the test comes, and sometimes the test don't even be that hard.
It might be that hard. It might be a little wind coming. Yeah. A little wind blew.
You feel me? And so it's like, and I just feel like that's the problem is, you know, with social media, people feel like they got all these options. Yeah. And they just feel like, oh, I ain't got to take this. You know what I mean? I can just go over here. And then, you know, you get a rude awakening, man. The grass ain't always greener.
It ain't always greener,
because it's going to always be somebody better.
Always. It's going to be somebody that look nice or somebody that got a little bit of something more. Like
somebody might have more money.
Right. I'm just looking for them intangibles. Like, I just want somebody like me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like you said, life is going to come at us a number of different ways. Do you have somebody that you know is going to take, let's say worst case scenario, something happened to you, can't take care of yourself for 3 weeks. Like, the person that's saying there's no way I would go 50-50 is not the same kind of person that's going to be there by your hospital bed if you in there for 3 weeks. Because when the money ain't coming in, like you said, if that wrench comes in to where you just down for a month or two, what you really got to stand on? Like you gotta find somebody that just ain't on that, man. And we don't have to bash them,
Yeah.
and we not bashing them. It's just
Yeah.
I feel like this is definitely my first time talking on the topic like that in general because I usually just stay away from it. You know what I mean?
I really wasn't trying to take it there,
and you wouldn't. We talking about relationships, and it's not an issue. I just. For one, I usually do this by myself, so what I'm gonna just be up here saying, you know what I mean? But I'm happy we talking about it because we really just simple, and we get placed into these boxes to where we're not allowed to be emotional, but then they want emotional intelligence, but we not allowed to, like you said it could be a demotion. You could be in between jobs. Like you're not allowed to really fall on your vulnerability.
You'll always be up.
At any particular time. And like to be a good guy, the good guys finish last mentality. To be a good guy, but to get overlooked because you're not, $100,000 man on a regular basis. That could do something to somebody mentally. You know what I mean? It really can. And I don't think people really pay attention to that. And look at that. But on the surface, like all we really want is somebody that's just gonna do us the same as we gonna do them.
Absolutely.
Cause we gonna go hard for you. Like you said, we gonna make sure you got everything you want. We gonna put you first. We gonna put you on a pedestal. Sometimes we just want a little bit of help. And I tell you this too. This is another vulnerable moment for me. Again, coming from what I'm just leaving out of. When I discovered, because it was around like a financial situation when I seen for the first time this ain't what I thought I had, right? It was really me coming to this person and being like, yo, like I'm gonna need some help with something. Like I've been doing this for 2-3 years. It's been good. We done had plenty, but right now I can see something coming and I need some help. The answer was just flat out, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do that. It was flat out, I don't see myself doing that. And that's when I was like, yo, everything, the house of cards just fell down. But, and so we just don't want to find ourselves in a scenario again to where you just can't come to your person and be like, yo, this is what I'm saying and this is what I need. And then they just don't want to reciprocate that to you. And that's really the bottom line. That's because like you said, life is going to come. And I can't afford the stress to be worried about if I lose a contract doing this thing because I'm an entrepreneur, or this job go ahead and does the layoff on me. I can't afford to be like, yo, if I lose what I have right now, what is my family gonna look like? My woman is gonna leave me, and that's a reality.
It's a harsh reality.
That is, instead of like you said, your parents figuring it out for 50 years, our first thought is, I'm about to lose my woman, my car, the house, apartment, whatever. We just feel like we don't have anything. We don't have security, bro. We don't have no security in that mindset.
Yeah, bro. It gets tricky, man.
It get tricky. Let me pivot real quick because we've been talking for a minute. We getting to the end of this, and I feel like some of this stuff could keep going.
All right.
Let me see. When is the last time you stepped out of your comfort zone?
Let's see. I would probably say like close to the end of last year.
What that look like for you?
I just had to just get in my bag and just, get into survival mode.
Survival mode.
You feel me? Get into survival mode. Go.
Do you have is there a particular thing that you had to do to step out, or was it just life in general? Like the survival mode of having to really, get on this horse and ride out.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's nothing in particular, but yeah, it's just like when you just like you. I mean, it's kind of. It's not exactly what you was necessarily talking about, but it's just like when you just really like sit down, you look at the scope of what's going on in your life, the current climate, and it's just like, all right, I'm about to have to sacrifice. I'm probably gonna have to sacrifice these next 2 years in order for me to really like live how I want to live.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like, I kind of just, got an overscope of what was going on in my life, and I'm just like, all right, Dez, like, in order for you to get here, this is what it's going to take.
Right.
What are you willing to do that?
Right.
And it's just like, all right, so now I've been just training myself into the, into getting into that mode and really like, slowly just cutting things off and just slowly removing myself from certain places. Not because there's, anything necessarily bad, but it's just like, all right, I gotta sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like I don't want to have to. If I don't do it now, then it's gonna take 3 or 4 years for me to get
Right.
over this. You feel me?
Right.
So it's just like, all right, so just try to lock in now,
Mm-hmm.
and go hard for these next 2 years. So then the rest of the, you know what I mean. So then you can really just get back to just, I don't want to necessarily
Doing
say coasting, but you feel me?
Yeah, being
Yeah,
comfortable.
yeah.
You make me think of one of my favorite quotes. The quote goes something like, "We sacrifice what we want most for what we want now."
Yeah,
And so, we sacrificing that dream in that place where we want to be, down the road for just, short term things today.
absolutely.
And these things today really don't add up to
Yeah,
much of anything if we're honest about that stuff.
absolutely.
So that's dope. Let me see. Do you have any fears that today, is there any type of fear you have that you feel like is possibly holding you back from becoming and continuing to grow?
Um,
I'll tell you, you think about it.
uh,
I'll tell you something that I feel like I just recently got over. And it kind of goes to a conversation we had earlier. I think it was before we started, was talking about how people need help to push, the business forward. And we just need help in areas to grow. For me, one of the things that I was always really scared and terrified of, a fear that I had, I had a fear of being successful.
mm,
And I feel like I'm probably not the only one that feel that way. But when I think about my abilities and what I could do if I really tapped into my potential, like I was kind of scared to be on the other side of that. And it's just recently, like, like my brother Mike on the other end of these screens right here, like people like him telling me, like, you need to just do this. You need to just do that. And it's kind of allowed me to kind of melt that fear away. Like, I'm looking at it more so I'll deal with that when I cross that bridge. But for now, it's time to tap in. It's time to be consistent. It's time to, get helping things. And we was talking about this too, like building this platform for DJs, the break room coming soon. Y'all gonna start to see more stuff like that. Like this is really the first time that I've had a, a group of people around me like, let's do this together. And man, it's been refreshing because you don't have to always have everything in your control, or, you don't have to have all the answers, but just to be able to be like, all right, look, I'm gonna be the creative director on this angle, and you be, the relations person here, and you do this. You reach out to the DJs, you the camera and audio, like just having those things. I found out through this short amount of time that we've been building this thing, like you don't really have to be scared of being successful when you really got a team together and people that could kind of be there to facilitate and help. And so for me, that fear that I've had of being successful has slowly started to kind of fall off slowly but surely. Um, but what about you? After you had some time to think about it, what is one fear that you feel like might still have power over you?
um, I think one of my biggest problems is my pride and ego. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
don't ever want to I don't really like asking nobody for nothing. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really like asking for help. I feel like the few times that I did, people shitted on me. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm like, I ain't never doing that again. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's been years since that happened, but it just always just left a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? But me, I just always been a fan of like working together because
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So stuff that I'm not good at, I see somebody that's good at it,
Right.
I immediately be like, all right, what can we do to like
Yeah.
do this together? Because I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like I said, I've been amazed that I've been here. Like this whole setup that Mike got, I'm like, bro, this is the type of stuff that I'll be looking
Yeah.
for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but so I feel like that's been holding me back and to really like growing into who I want to become, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. But also too, man, to be honest, Murph, bro, and I've had private conversations with you about it, but it's just really been on my heart lately, man. And we on this platform, I think I just want to, and we've been having real talk. But like honestly, bro, lately, man, I just been really just having a lot of thoughts. Like I really don't know how much longer I got in these like spaces. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
we
really
talked
just been,
about that.
I really just been wanting to walk away from it all, man, because I feel like I've gave so much and got so little, you know, and it just be tough. You know what I mean? Like when you really, I look back, and I don't regret nothing. I don't regret
Right,
nothing,
for
nothing
sure.
like that. But it's just like I don't know how much more time I can give it when it don't really look like I'm getting anything back from it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Or when I've been, I look around at certain people and certain things, and it's just like, you know, bro, I've done a lot to help you get into these
yeah.
spaces, and then it's just like, and then not saying that because I never move on that type of time, right? I'm
Right,
not
right,
doing it like, oh, okay, I'm
right.
doing this to get something back from you, but it's just like I be feeling like there's people out there, it's like, bro, like y'all see me out here, and then it's like y'all don't, you feel me?
I feel you. I
like
understand
you know
a
what I
hundred
mean? But
percent.
then also too, the pride and ego kicks in. So I'm not about to go out there and say nothing to you because
Yeah,
I don't want to sound salty or sound entitled or nothing like that. But
yeah. I mean, and a lot of that too. It comes to so yeah. We've talked about this, and it comes down to
I also put a lot of it on me.
yeah.
I put a lot of it on me because like I feel like that's my biggest issue is I've always been dope with the creative side,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm terrible with the business, and I'm man enough to admit that. Like I've never been the business guy,
Yeah.
but putting ideas together, putting them on paper, making them come to life, like facilitate, like
Right.
I can do that with my eyes closed. It's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I
And
just
you
don't be.
gotta you
I've never been good at monetizing it. You know
you
what I'm saying?
got you got a special gift, and I believe you know you have a gift. Whether or not sometimes we can pinpoint what it is, it can be another thing sometimes. But when 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 I see Dez, right, I see somebody that can, I'm gonna say, whatever you touch can turn to gold. That's what I'm gonna say. Now,
I feel like I can do that for others, but I feel like I've never been able to do it for me.
but this is where I'm going with
Mm.
that. I feel like so. Shout out to my guy Kevin Vance, one of my best friends. He told me about a book he was reading one day. Um, I can't remember the exact words of it, but I'm not a big reader. I'll listen to the book before I pick it up and flip through the pages. But the book was really around being a power connector. And what that power connector book was talking about was being able to facilitate things for other people and connections and stuff like that. And within there, a person can find a lane to where it starts to become something that they can monetize on. When I look at, I'm gonna say Valdez. I'm gonna just say when I look at Desi, because that's who I know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I tell people
saying?
there's levels. There's levels to it.
when I
There's
when I
levels to the names.
right when I look at Desi, this is what I see for you. Whether or not you see this for yourself, I could be putting you in a box in this moment, and I realize that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like I really feel like you have an opportunity to be kind of a lead way person for a lot of other people. Whether that mean you start to identify what you like out there that you see other people doing, and then just moving them around to where you know they can be successful at. I don't necessarily know how to monetize something like that. And it could be very well some type of business in there. You know what I mean? But your name holds weight. We know this. We know that you know a lot of people, and we know that you can connect a lot of people. We know that if your name is on it, we know it's usually probably going to be a safe place to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so because it ain't never been nothing crazy going on with
Yeah.
you. But like I know the struggle that you've expressed to me as far as, and it's huge that you said that, and I hope people pick that up and they listen to it. Like you feel like you've given so much but gotten back so little, and that it's a reality check for a lot of people because a lot of people see you and a lot of people I believe want to see you be successful. But I'm gonna be the one to say a lot of those people ain't really doing what they should be doing for you. And I don't know any names, but whoever hears this, like there are some things that we could be doing when we see somebody and we believe in what they got doing or what their talents is. We need to put ourselves behind that. Like, and I live that by example, like me connecting with the podcast. If I feel like I can be helpful, I'm gonna insert myself in a comfortable way and just see how it can be pushed forward. But like, I respect what you're saying when it comes to like, yo, sometimes I just don't want to do this no more because I don't really feel like I'm getting out of it when I'm putting in. Yeah. And you've been doing it for a long time. For a long time. And so I want to see you get to the point to where you're happy hanging it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want you to hang it up because of you not feeling, I'm going to just use the word respected. Yeah. Or you not getting what you feel like you need to get back. I want to see you hang it up to when you feel like it. You know, when it's time. You know, and so I'm gonna put it out there. Whatever I can help you with.
and you always have, and you always have, and kind of just to piggyback on something that you said like a little bit earlier. You know, that's one thing. I mean, that's one thing that I've always done. And I'm always going to do. You know, and I've kind of like. It's growing. I'm growing more into that. Like, and when I say that, like, because at the end of the day, like, I don't necessarily care about being in the forefront. Like, I don't have no problem like playing the background and just helping quarterback situations because, like I said, I'm gonna shine regardless whether I'm whether I'm in the forefront or not. Like that's never a problem for me. Like once I get in them rooms, I'm gonna always cook. Like my personality is gonna come to life. People just tend to love me. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I always hang my hat on, and especially like in the entertainment space in the city, and I feel like a lot of people can attest to it, is just like, I've never been a hater. Like if I can help you some sort of way, I'm going to do it. Whether that's connecting you with a venue, connecting you with a person, especially the younger guys. I really take pride in that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though I'm not a DJ, but like, my guy, Little Rich, I came up under his dad. You know what I mean? So like Lil Rich and Cam, like, I took a liking to them early. So I just like, and I just seen it early. And I told them like a year before everything kicked off, I said, bro, what's about to happen is, I said, y'all about to take off and everybody about to gravitate towards y'all. What's most important is don't let people use y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people, because I'm like, y'all the young guys. Y'all are the new guys.
Right.
So they're gonna need y'all before you need them.
Right.
So just make sure you protect y'all's intellectual property.
Right.
Make sure y'all do what y'all do with integrity and just understand like every dollar ain't a good dollar. You know what I'm saying?
You've been saying every dollar ain't a good
it
dollar.
It ain't, bro.
Yeah, you've been saying something else. Something else ain't a good thing.
It ain't either. It can get you the word of truth too. So yeah, so like whether I walk away or not, like that's never not like I'm always, if I can help, I'm gonna do it because that's just who I am. Like I ain't tripping. You feel what I'm saying? But I say all that to say, and that this is really a big reason why I wanted to come on this platform and really just share a lot of this stuff, because I just felt like it was a safe space to do it.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just only right. You've helped me so much, and it's just like I know me being in your platform is going to help bring an extra set of eyes. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like this is what we got to do for each other. But also too, I just wanted to have some real conversation, man. Like I've had a lot of thoughts. I'm tired of having my own. I be in my car interviewing myself sometimes. And I'm just like, bro, I want to get this out there. You know what I mean?
Get it off my chest real quick.
And this stuff that I'm saying, bro, look, I ain't looking for no pity. I ain't looking for no sympathy.
Sure.
I ain't doing none of that. But I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, I've been in this shit for over 20 years, Murph. Yeah. No cap.
Nah, for real.
No cap, bro. I done had some good times. I done had some bad times. I'm cool. I'm straight. But I just feel like at the end of the day, when people was down and I seen it, I did everything in my power to help get them back on their feet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that like I'm down, like but I'm just saying like within this game, bro, I've done a lot of stuff, and it's like now it's starting to look more time consuming than beneficial. So it's just like it goes back to the sacrifice conversation. That this is one of those things where it's just like, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
You feel me?
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? You gonna
that's that fork in the road.
Like so now it's like it's really, really got to just start making sense. And if it ain't, I'm okay with just with walking away and just being letting people, what I mean? I feel like I didn't cheat the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't cheat the game, bro. I ain't cheat the game. I treated it with respect.
Yeah.
And I'd rather walk away with integrity than leaving like, damn, this nigga was ring chasing. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel me? I ain't trying to just go sign with the hottest. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna go out, I want to go out and have my farewell tour on
I feel you. I feel, man. Listen, I feel like at the end of the day, like from a lot of what we talked about today on this episode, like it really comes down to making the moves that's best for you.
Yeah.
Regardless of what anybody else want to see you do or where they think you should be or whatever box they put you in. At the end of the day, like we're gonna be most comfortable with ourselves and able to sleep when we really doing what's in our heart. You know what I mean? And for you, if it's time to hang it up and lead a game, so be it. Because you ain't gonna never leave for good.
Yeah, nah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going. Your presence is gonna be felt whenever you want it to be felt. But I feel like it's important also for you to actually put that out there, just to let it float out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And
this is how you feel.
And like I said, I ain't. I'm not looking for nobody to highlight me or spotlight me. Like honestly, bro, I'm having more fun with just being the old vet, you know what I mean? And just letting the young guns go get 20 and 30, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? For real. Like I really love seeing like the young guys win, like that shit. Like this is getting people win in general. Like I really love that. So really now I'm just in a point in my life where it's just like, I want to continue to do this in some form or fashion, but just make the business make sense. Whether that means I got to take a back seat, or even if if it is needed for me, like, nah, Dez, we need you to get out there. I'm with that. But you feel me? But just I don't know, man.
It gotta make sense.
Yeah, it's just gotta make sense, bro. And lately, the stuff just ain't been making sense.
That's the bottom line.
And I just been kind of seeing like the shift, and how stuff is going, and I'm just like, I can't play the game. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you 100%. It gotta make sense.
Yeah.
Cats getting old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We the reality is we can't do the same thing forever.
Facts.
Because everybody love to quote what insanity means.
Right.
Like it got to start making sense. I feel like there's a lane to where things can make sense. I feel like that comes along with being open to more collaboration. And like you said, not having ego, being able to play whatever position is necessary.
Cool.
That's really what it comes down to. You've seen a lot of things take place. You've come across a lot of people, whether it been your time at the clubs, whether it been your time. You ever considered yourself being like a promoter, or was like?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll use that. So in the clubs, a promoter, radio, you've seen a lot, and so it's time to start capitalizing on the experience and the wealth of knowledge you got navigating this, and that's what it comes down to. Because for me, like, I want to eventually start getting paid for what I know. Because a lot of people don't know a lot of things that I've done. Like, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I've been self-taught with a lot of different things. And, like, nobody really knows that I know the stuff that I know. But I want to get paid for what I know.
And then we all do.
Yeah, and you don't have to be the one lifting and out there shooting and, dropping 40. Like, you want to know something? Like, I got you. Let's figure this out. So I feel like that lane is going to come for you. I feel like we need to, in general, just start talking about that stuff, with each other a little more to see what that looks like. Because it's plenty of opportunity, man.
Yeah, I know that. I know that, man. So it's just, but that's just where I've been at with it. And it's just like, like you said, it just got to make sense. And once again, with myself, I've been come to the real like I'm cool. I've never been pressed about being in the forefront. It just be happening like that with a lot of stuff. But like, I'm not, like I said, I'm okay with playing in the background, just depending on what it is. Like I said, when it comes to parties and stuff like that, I still love putting them together, but I don't necessarily want to be the focal
right,
point.
right. And I
where I'm
understand
at in
that.
my life now. I'm just I'm cool. Like I don't mind being there, but I just don't want to have to be like.
You don't want to be the focal point.
Yeah, I don't want to host no more. I don't want to turn on. I did that for a long time.
Let me ask you this as we about to get ready to close out here. And it's kind of the same question. I got two thoughts in my head, but I can narrow it down to one. And I'm gonna narrow the question down to what you share. You've been very vulnerable today, and I appreciate that. And I'm sure some people going to learn some stuff that they didn't know, which is necessary. You know what I mean? So we appreciate that. Is there anything you want people to know about who Valdez is, and what do you feel like you want your legacy to be? I feel like those are two different questions, but I'm trying to group them together. What do you want the people to know most about you, and what do you want your legacy to be?
I feel like what I want people to know about me most is before you run away with the rumors and the misconceptions and the he said, she said, ask yourself, have you ever came to the source and had a real conversation? You feel me? You know, I know there's a, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stories about me. Some good, some bad. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the hero on some stories. I'm the villain in some stories. And lately I've been moving on villain LeBron time. And I really don't like moving on that time. But I just been feeling like people got me fucked up. So it's just like, I'm going to show you better than I'm going to tell you. You feel me? So I just feel like, man, like I think a lot of times people have this misconception about me because of, you know, oh, you Dez, you're the party guy, you be outside this and the third, but y'all don't know me though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when people really get to know me, I'm really way different than what you think. You know what I mean? Dez Arnez it's a form of me. But when you really when people really be like chilling with me, sit down, they be like, you really quiet for real. You really like, I'm super observant. You know what I mean? I gotta feel the room. You know what I mean? Like, so I ain't, you know, people be thinking like I'm just gonna walk in every room loud
and be ready to go.
And I'm not that guy at all.
Yeah.
I've never really been that guy. You know what I'm saying? But when it's time to turn up a party, like
I'm
gonna do what I do.
Yeah.
This is what I do. So that's that on that.
Legacy. What you want your legacy to be?
Man, I just want people to know, bro, like at the end of the day, man, like I said, bro, I said it earlier. I feel like I ain't cheat the game. I treated it with integrity. I treated it with respect. I feel like everybody that has come along and been in my life, some shape, form, or fashion, that's helped me, they can't say that when they left, I didn't help them either in some shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's real. And like I said, you know, have I done some, you know, and when I say done so wrong, I'm not saying no crazy stuff. I'm saying like I'm pretty sure, and mostly this is going to pertain to women. I'm pretty sure there's some women out there. Yes, I could have, you know, in our relationship, I could have done better. You know what I'm saying?
That's a given with everybody. Ain't nobody perfect, but we can all do something a little differently.
But and when I say that, it ain't no crazy stuff. Like, I ain't did no crazy stuff. But you know, but overall, man, like I said, I feel like I kept it real. I've helped out a lot of people, and I did, you know, I just moved with a lot of good intentions and kindness in my heart. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like over the years, a lot of people like try to take my kindness for weakness. So then when I had to get in asshole mode, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, and because, you know, and it's just like, I just be, because when I be feeling like you be playing with me, I got to show like, bro, it's really not that, but I just, you know, I choose not to take it there because it really don't be worth it at the end of the day. And I feel like I'm gonna lose more than I'm gonna win. So
right.
In most cases, I'm just gonna remove myself before I have to take it there.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like that was a lot, but at the end of the day, man,
them is emotions.
you know, I feel like I did it my way, and when I leave up out of here, man, I just. My only request is just ride me through the city one time before it's over with. You feel me? Because I feel like I put in a lot of work. I feel like I did a lot of, and my time being here, man. I feel like I left a mark in the city, bro.
Yeah.
And whether you love it or hate it, you can't deny Dez Arnez, man.
Hey, listen, there's Arnez. He said, I came, I saw, I conquered. You know what I'm saying? Riding through the city
Just
one time.
man.
You know, that's funny because I around my birthday, I usually, you know how we get back on Facebook, like, appreciate y'all for, all the birthday shout outs. And it reminds me of something I always tell people. I say, yo, when it's all said and done for Murph, like, make sure you come to my funeral and you look at my son and you tell my son who I was to you. Yeah. Them was my flowers, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we just want to be respected for what we brung to whatever game we playing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so I appreciate you for coming through.
For sure.
Talking about all the things we need to talk about on here on the Maniacal Pod Talk.
I think this is gonna be an interesting one for people.
It's gonna be because it's different.
I was very vulnerable in this. I don't share a lot of this stuff. So.
Yeah, I know. And so like I looked at pretty much all the interviews you've done over the last week, and I'm just like, it just can't be this. Like this, I know Desi. And I gotta bring Desi out. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so it was a challenge for me because I know what people want and I know what people expect. Yeah. But I did not want you to have to. I wanted you to feel that vulnerable space. You know what I mean? And so what Jay-Z say? Thank God for granting me this moment of clarity.
Right. Yeah, real talk.
And so you got anything else you want to say to the people? And I'm gonna close out, man.
Yeah. On that note, like Murph said, man, at my funeral, bro, I just ask that my real people don't let people lie. And when I say don't let people lie, man, when y'all see somebody posting about me, saying that they love me and stuff, and y'all know they really didn't, report it.
Call them out.
You know what I mean? Report that post. You know what I mean? Call that person out. And all my real, people, and there's a lot. I feel like. My funeral gonna be stacked. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be people there.
But I just, I really don't want people sad and somber, man. Just share, one good moment. That's what I ask. If you get up there and talk, share something good, man. Put a smile on the people's face and just, like I said, man, I feel like I did it my way for the most part, man. So.
And that's what matters most. Everybody out here, we trying to do it our way. We trying to get to it the best as we possibly can. We trying to move with intention. We trying to move with integrity. And we just want to be the best that we can be, whether it be for us or whether it be for the people in our circle, man. So as y'all go back and y'all listen to this, there's a lot of key moments that I feel like y'all should, reflect on for yourself. We had a lot of talk about, how men feel and how we want to be vulnerable, whether it be relationships, whether it be, business and things like that. Just reflect. Take a moment and reflect and respect the man's privacy.
Yeah, man. Cause I feel like I do that. I feel like I'm very good at that. I'm minding my fucking business.
Yeah, respect the man's privacy.
I ain't really getting into it unless you bring it to me. And then you bring it to me, we're gonna leave it here. Like, you feel me? People be just getting in your shit and you know what I mean? And then be smiling in your face, kicking you in your back, you know what I mean?
That's it.
I ain't fucking with it.
Respect the man's privacy. Yeah. Everything Dez just said, take that, wrap it up and run with it. And what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna leave it at this, and we gonna exit. When a man decides to hang it up, sit back and think about what that man brought to the game. Sit back and think about if you really appreciated the time that you had with that person while they was doing their thing.
They ain't gonna let me till I'm gone, man.
That's how it worked. And so we gonna figure out how to get what's coming right now. It's my money, and I want it now. But until next time, man, y'all be maniacal. And me and my man Dez, Mike, he gonna finish up doing what he doing back there, keeping us rolling, keeping us looking good with the angles. Man, look. Until next time, y'all do what y'all gotta do, man. This is Murph signing out. Mike, go ahead and drop that outro for us, my brother.